Good afternoon, YouTube. It's special Sunday edition. Once again, it's the three middle-aged dudes just bullshitting about nothing. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Grey Mouse 1.
And we just came back a little while ago from seeing Captain America Civil War. This is the second time I saw it. I'm not rubbing it in anybody's faces. Big fans, of course. And we're just going to share our views and do a little review. This particular video is going to be the non-spoiler review. We're going to do another video which is going to have all the spoilers, go into details with everything, but this one will be fairly safe. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, and according to the numbers, you're among a few people who haven't seen it yet, this is the review to watch if you're concerned about spoilers. Side tidbit, something that we weren't able to go ahead and mention in the videos that we normally do during the week. It's come to our attention that it's Universal Studios, right, for Ghostbusters?
Oh.
Yeah, well, no, actually it's Sony, right? Yeah, it's Sony. Well, it's come to our attention that leading up toward the brand new Ghostbusters movie to it being hitting the theaters, they are planning on re-releasing the original Ghostbusters film in limited release in theaters 3 weeks before the release of the new Ghostbusters film. Thoughts, gentlemen?
It's not going to help. Okay. Anyone that wants to see Ghostbusters, they can actually see it on DVD or on Blu-ray or on digital or on their PSP.
It's old enough.
It's old enough. Or on VHS.
Yep.
Motherfuckers got it.
Yep.
Motherfuckers just pop in and watch it.
Yep.
The first movie is over 32 years old. Second movie, what? 27 years old?
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, upwards around 30 years.
Anything that you can to try. When has a remake or anything like that has ever had the original release in the theater to try to help it out? They didn't do that for Nightmare on Elm Street. They didn't do that for fucking
Turtles.
I don't know. Yeah, Turtles. No, they won their shit as much as it did get by its own merit.
Transformers.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't make any, I'm not going to sit up here and think about all the movies right now, but even a sequel doesn't even need the prequels put back. They're not going to do that with Jason Bourne. They're not going to fucking do that. Yes, Jason Bourne has another movie coming out. They're not going to put the previous trilogy back in the fucking theater to try to help motherfuckers see this one. Why? Because that trilogy was fucking good.
Well, the original two movies were great.
And this, the new Jason Bourne, looks fucking good.
Yep. That's
the main point about it. The original Ghostbusters was a good fucking comedy. Yeah. And then this new Ghostbusters is garbage.
From what we've seen so far,
the leads are women either.
No!
It's not that. It's just
Wait. Let me stop right there. There are a lot of movies that have nothing but women leads in it that turned out to be groundbreaking fucking movies, regardless of how you feel about them, regardless of if you, as a male or female, cling on to it or not, as far as saying, wow, this movie clings on to friendship or clings on to emotion or I like the plot or that shit is stupid as fuck. It all broke fucking barriers anyway.
Movies like flicks for a reason.
Exactly. Chick flicks. They call them that for a reason, just like Grey Mouse just said. Okay, like Fried Green Tomatoes. You have fucking, Thelma and Louise. Yep. Those movies are still watched to this day by women and by certain men because that movie is fucking good to them. And guess what? They have female leads. So it's not the female leads thing. It is that this trailer for the new Ghostbusters movie fucking sucked. Please get that into your head. And trying to put the original in the theater, who you trying to fucking pander to? You're trying to let motherfuckers know that Ghostbusters exist? Well, we fucking already know that. They can find that on the internet. They can find that on YouTube. They can find that out by their parents, whatever. And the original Ghostbusters will look cheesy to them. So you're putting it in the theater to try to get the nostalgic feel from motherfuckers like us. But we already seen the new fucking trailer, and that's why we're like, this shit sucks. We're not going to fucking see it.
Actually, to be honest with you, the special effects for the original one are hell of a lot better than the new one.
That's because they tried to do everything and anything that make their special effects look real.
All glittery and shiny and twilighty. Man,
Ghosts with glitter? Oh, no.
That's what they did.
I think in the end, what we have to consider what's obvious to a lot of folks, and this is regardless of whether or not the trailer for the new Ghostbusters film was well received or not. Generally speaking, when you're going out of your way to re-release a movie in any sort of limited release before another or new one comes out, it's usually a cash grab. Whenever an executive or any studio decides to go ahead and do that, it's a cash grab. It's like, hey, maybe we can make a few bucks more, which just tells me right off the bat, no matter how much those guys are sitting there saying, you guys are the geeks of the internet are panning this because they're misogynist and they're sexist. You can't sit there and tell me that they're confident that this movie is going to make the money that they're hoping it to make. Not if they're re-releasing the classic movie again.
You know what's funny? Just had a thought. What if the original Ghostbusters going back to the theater makes more than a new one?
I would find that honestly not just ironic, but very hilarious.
It has a strong possibility.
That's what I mean. It has a strong possibility.
I mean,
they're gonna put this shit back in the theater and it's gonna do well, and the new one is not.
So what is the old one going to be there for 3 days? 2 days? 3 days?
The original one's going to be there for 1 weekend in limited release. So I don't the chances of it doing more than the new one that's going to come out in full wide release is actually pretty slim. But it's the funny thing is that if a lot of people go out and they see the original Ghostbusters film, and in contrast, not a lot of people go out to see the brand new Ghostbusters film, it's just going to typify what a lot of people have been saying for a long time, that one's a classic, and what you're giving to us so far, we're not impressed with.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, let's move on from that, because I know that we could go on for a while, but you know what? That's something we'll end up talking about again sometime in the future. Like it, love it, or hate it. It's probably going to happen. Like I said, YouTube, we saw Captain America Civil War. If you haven't seen my previous video, oh my God, it's a good movie. Thoughts, gentlemen? I'll hand the floor over to you, since this would be your first time talking about your impressions to the video world, the internet world.
Like the Reverend just alluded to, oh my God, it's a good movie. It is a good fucking movie. One of the best movies of the year that I've seen, especially in the theater. It kicks a lot of ass. The plot is pretty understandable. They do a little mystery thing, just like in every movie, and then it comes back at the end. The characters acted exactly the way that they were supposed to act. Regardless of what interaction that they were in, every superhero did an awesome fucking job.
Yep.
From Hawkeye to Black Widow, Black Panther, Black fucking Panther. I'm seeing that shit when it comes out. Spider-Man was fucking Spider-Man. Yep. There's no doubts in anyone's mind that, and those are the only two characters that was pretty much introduced into this cinematic universe.
Yep.
As far as being by Marvel Studios. So you had the interactions, no matter who was interacting with who, and it was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yep. What about you, Gray Mouse? What were your thoughts?
What's left to say? I mean, I agree. I agree full-heartedly. On what you guys said. It's a great movie. from start to finish is a very cohesive story. And
you can't get lost in this story.
And no. And the way, I have to agree, the way the characters interacted with each other and the way you expect them to react to situations, there's some awkwardness here and there, of course, but yeah, it was a great movie. It was a great movie.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it with you guys the second time seeing it, and there was actually quite a few details that I was able to pick up on that I didn't notice the first time around. Just to reiterate what I said in my previous video, it's actually it's phenomenal. It's got to be some sort of fucking magic trick how they had so many characters on screen, not just so many characters on screen, characters that you've met throughout the past almost 13 fucking movies that Marvel Cinematic Universe has put out, but in the meantime, they introduced 2 new characters that are going to end up being major fucking players in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And they're able to give each and every one their moment to shine and show off what they can do and show off why they are here in this movie. There isn't really... Okay, there may be a point with each character where you're like, well, why are we spending this time with them? But when the action gets underway and everybody gets to doing what they do, it becomes very obvious why they're there.
Well, with me, I never felt that way. I felt each character got their moment in the spotlight. I mean, it wasn't drug out. There was no part in that movie that I felt like, why are we watching? No, there was never that. With me, it was the
pace was brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that happens in the movie, and it's not 2.5 hours just of them, sitting in rooms doing exposition and stuff like that.
No.
And, a reason why they're able to go ahead and pull all of this off is that they're very much relying on the previous 12 movies in the whole of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to go ahead and pull these details forward to anybody who's actually kept up with the movies from Iron Man forward. It's like I said, it's an incredible, orchestrated trick that they go ahead and they pull off. That's not to say that the movie is without its flaws. Any points that stuck with you, even if it's nitpicking, without going into spoiler territory, because we're going to do a video on that.
I could do that real easy. One nitpick that I had was during certain scenes, the camera was a little shaky, and it does being nitpicky, but it was pretty bad in some sections.
It was
kind of like, and I was sitting there and I was like, ooh.
It was kind of prolonged in some of the chase scenes.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get into any of
the... to be expected. It's a chase scene.
Well,
you can't hold
but it just seems like, I understand that they wanted that added to the effect, but I think there was too much.
The one problem that I had was whenever they would tell you what location they're in, it would show up in big white bold letters all over the fucking screen.
Yeah.
You know what? That
most of the places that they do that, there's nothing to watch.
That's true, but
or whatever it is. But it kind of brought back. It's like I was watching a comic strip or something. Like,
no, actually.
Meanwhile,
okay.
not only that, but it's kind of a throwback to some of the old 1980s spy films that they put out.
I felt that too.
I agree with that, but it kind of stuck me for a minute. I'm like, God, get out of the way, letters.
Yeah. big bold.
Especially when you name a location of where you're in the movie, they'll show it like at the bottom
or the top,
or the top or something like that. So you'll see maybe something that's going on or see the beauty of the fucking city. But these were big, white, bold fucking letters right in front of you. Like, we're here, bitch. Yeah.
And
so the scenery of that place. No, we're here.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that it doesn't happen like twice. They jump to like 8 different fucking locations.
It happens.
Every place that
It happens
they went,
several times.
Oh my god! Like damn, big ass letters. Get out of the way.
Yeah.
Just show the fucking scenery of the place, and we're like, oh yeah, that place is beautiful. I would like to go there, but don't show us a big fucking bold letters. You want a vacation here, don't you, bitch? No, not anymore. I can't see shit. All I know is that just big ass, bold ass letters.
Yep.
You know, I mean, to me, those two are the only really nitpicky thing that I can really say about the flick. I mean, for one, you know, we could see the actors' cohesiveness with each other, and that, you know, that helped the cohesiveness of the characters together. And it's like, you could really
see the thing about that. You can see the join together and the tearing apart.
Yeah.
With every character interaction.
Yeah.
And everything makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
The way characters were brought together
And,
or how characters were torn.
you know, during the movie, I leaned over and I said several times and said, yeah, I believe that character, character would say something like that at that particular time.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is
so-and-so.
Yeah.
Oh, like, holy shit, that is exactly what that motherfucker would do.
Yeah. It's just,
or say.
They know their source material is what the bottom line is.
Have we discussed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
But
Speaking of characters, though, because there are a lot of them in the film, I gotta say they've found a fantastic way to introduce two new major players in the mix. What were your guys' impressions of the Black Panther and Spider-Man?
Man,
the way they introduced Black Panther without any spoilers.
That's what I said. It's tough to do without spoilers right now, man.
And then the way they introduced Spider-Man without spoilers, we're gonna have to take care of that in the next video.
Yeah, we'll do that
because those were two specific things I do want to talk about.
Okay, all right. But overall impressions as far as adding them into the mix,
it works.
Yeah. Yep.
Even their battle scenes, their fight scenes, they do shit exactly the way they do.
And that's what I had. You know, I mean, it wasn't like they're just throwing like an unnamed movie. They're just throwing superheroes and these weird. No, it actually made sense why they're there, why they were brought in. It was smooth. It was a smooth transition. There was nothing contrast against each other.
No one showed up without any fucking logical reason.
Yeah.
Whoever was there, they showed you why they were there in one way, shape, form, or another, or why they came in. And that's what was really, really smooth. The tone was great.
Yep.
Yes, you had comedy. Yes, you had some very funny moments, and it had a lot to do with the characters.
Yep.
Because those characters that would say or do or be a part of some funny shit, they were a part of some funny shit at the correct times.
Yep.
So it wasn't like, you're trying to be a comedy, aren't you? No, you knew that character would say or do something like that. And that's what made it that much better.
Yeah. And the thing about it, too, with the characters is that if you're just going by the impressions on the trailers, you'd probably easily imagine that, oh, well, yeah, Black Panther shows up, but he's like there only for a little while, or Spider-Man shows up and he's only there for a little while. The truth of the matter is that they show up and they have a pretty extended presence on screen.
Oh yeah.
And the before and after as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that Spider-Man and Black Panther were in there, you know, from the trailer, of course.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the...
but a lot of people didn't think that they were actually going to have...
Oh, yeah. They just showed up. Oh, there's a guy...
Showed up in a battle. And
yeah, and it was just... No, I mean, it was just... And I'll just say it this way, that Spider-Man kept his quirkiness, just like in the trailer. It's like... Oh, God.
They just added Deadpool in this.
No, because the thing is that Spider-Man...
I'm talking about with the talking, with the...
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man is
Spider-Man was like that, so that's how they got away with it.
Yeah, Spider-Man is what's that? He's talkative and mouthy like that. But the thing with Spider-Man is that part of it is because guess what? Otherwise, he's this shy little kid. And once he puts on that mask, it's part of how he compensates for being as scared as he actually is during those fucking situations. Now, Deadpool is just a smartass. He has no problems about being a dick and saying dickish
I
things.
like the fact that with Spider-Man, they didn't waste any time on any fucking backstory. They didn't waste any time on fucking saying, okay, why is he the way he is? No, they was just like, you know this already. So he has to get out there. Now, Black Panther, on the other hand, they had to throw in a couple of things.
That was his first appearance.
Yeah. So, and they did that brilliantly.
And and they'll probably go ahead and do the full 2.5 hour spread for Origin and everything when bring his solo movie. But
they got their own solo movies coming up.
As far as having him jump in and get into the mix, he literally hits the ground running. And it's like, this is who he is.
I mean, without getting into any spoilers again, I mean, he had no choice.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just the way, and it was just, a lot of people had reserve of Spider-Man being young.
No.
And I didn't personally.
No.
I was fine with it because, I mean, that to me, that's what Spider-Man is a loudmouth teenage know-it-all.
Yeah.
That's the way, I think he knows it all.
Well, he was already in college.
Yeah.
So he wasn't like in his teens. He wasn't in high school.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
No, he isn't.
He's still in high school in this one.
Still in high school in this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
they took him all the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are right because it was the whole. He was just starting to do this thing. But I'm talking about like the way that they were trying to explain the other Spider-Mans and the other movies.
Oh yeah.
They didn't have him totally. Okay, they didn't have time for it per se, but they didn't have him like going through high school type of stuff. No, they had him going through superhero stuff. That's what they basically cut out to.
Yep.
And that's what it's like, okay, I can accept that. Regardless of how young he was doing more superhero-y stuff than more personal things.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure.
I think the thing that kind of bugged me with the other Spider-Man is the fact that regardless of how I see they did, either Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, how they were as either Peter Parker or Spider-Man under the mask. One thing that kind of bugged me, and especially when it was pointed out, and every time I think about it, I can't stop thinking about it. It's the fact that they've got these 30-year-old dudes playing teenagers.
Well, that's been done for a long time in a lot of TV shows and movies.
But they look like 30-year-old dudes playing teenagers.
Hey, if people are like, if it worked in the Breakfast Club, then it'll work on any other thing.
And the other thing about like Andrew Garfield, not to go too far on a side tangent, but the other thing about Andrew Garfield is the fact that he's pretty. All right, you sit there, you look at him, and you look at Gwen Stacy and like Kim, and then whoever the other dude was that was trying to go ahead and date her at the same time. It was like, of course she's going to end up dating Peter because he looks better than the other dude.
So what's your guys' take on the other characters? I mean,
we'll name all of that off.
Yeah, well, let's see here. Aside from, like I said in my previous video, aside from Spider-Man and Black Panther, I think one of the guys who absolutely steals the show is Ant-Man.
Ant-Man was cool.
Yeah, his presence becomes very big on screen, very literally. But yeah, like every other character was handled and given time. Nothing feels forced or shoehorned in.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, even Bucky's.
Yeah.
Bucky.
Even Bucky.
Bucky actually showed some character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was good because it wasn't just this mindless fucker.
Yeah. Just doing what he was told.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. And yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, Ant-Man. Yeah.
I mean, you know, Iron Man, War Machine.
Yep.
You know,
And even certain things that Vision was doing.
Oh yeah, the way that Vision was acting, it was like, wow, you still get this you get this this inclination that he's not socially
that's socially. Yeah, I felt
yeah,
like
he's not socially adept.
I felt that he was a child.
He wasn't. Yeah, he was.
I mean, he just got born. I mean,
wait. Remember
he
when?
just got,
remember Age of Ultron?
That's
Yeah,
what
he's
I'm saying.
only around a year old, so
That's what I'm saying. I felt that, especially when it comes, you know, some of the interactions with the other
He
characters.
has a lot of knowledge,
what I'm
but
saying
he's so infant.
Yeah,
So that's
his social skills are inept.
what Sheldonism.
Yeah,
no, not he's just very he's very green when it comes to
Yes,
awkward.
he is.
interacting
Very
with
awkward. But again, that's that before his social interaction, you would fucking expect that. So that's yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Is there anything else that we could sit there and extol or talk about without going into spoilers at this moment in time?
Not for the non-spoilers, no.
Yeah, probably not. Your ratings or recommendation, guys. What do you guys?
Go see it.
Okay.
Go see it. Watch it. Reserve your fucking tickets or wake up early in the fucking morning like we did, because regardless of what time you go, that theater's going to be crowded. You're going to run out of seats. If you got a big group, you better go together and get your seats. I'm telling you. And watch the movie. Watch past the fucking credits. And just enjoy it. Because, like I said before, or what Raymond's been saying, there's no incoherence here. You're not going to get lost. They're going to refer back. Anything that needs to be explained is going to get explained.
I'll say it this way. I'll say it simple. If you've watched all your Marvel movies up to this point, you are fine. You're going to understand everything. And if you haven't watched all the Marvel movies up to this point, I think you're still okay. I mean, you can still sit down and enjoy the movie.
You can actually, yes, you can.
It's cohesive enough to where you could follow the storyline.
Yeah.
And that's perfect.
Yeah,
it really is. So, you know, if you did watch all the Marvel movies up to this point, you got a treat.
It's funny
It is a treat.
It's funny
to watch
because
that movie.
even though if you didn't watch certain Marvel movies up to this point, they will catch you up to speed
pretty
really quick.
Yep.
As far as why certain things are going on.
And they reference back.
That's what I mean. And that was outstanding. And that wasn't drawn out.
And it wasn't like it was forced. Well, in case these guys, it was just natural, the natural flow. And that's just good writing. So for my rating, go see that thing. Please, if you're still sitting there and you haven't seen it, go see it. Absolutely.
Go online, buy your tickets, and just go.
Yeah.
With a group, by yourself, it is a good you can see this movie regardless.
I mean, hell, I'm thinking about seeing it again.
I will go see it again.
Like I said, you know, if you're one of those people who haven't seen the movie yet, we're gonna wrap up our non-spoiler review. It comes highly recommended. Initial box office estimates last time I checked is that it's going to wrap up the weekend at around 181 million U.S. domestically. Worldwide, it's already hit 326 million.
Yep.
Yeah,
it deserves it.
Yeah, it's the 5th highest box office opening for ever, and I think it actually it's higher than Age of Ultron, according to what their estimates are going at. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, we obviously recommend it. You know, we recommend it highly. Go see it. Go see it twice like I did. You know, see it with a friend.
Yeah.
All right.
You won't regret it.
No, I don't think you will at all.
You won't.
With that, this is the end of our non-spoiler video. If you're so kind, please hit the like button, hit subscribe below, leave us a comment. If there was something you think we missed that isn't too far into spoiler territory, go ahead and leave it in the comments. We love to read those.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. With that, check you out in this spoiler video coming up next. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
Good ass fucking movie. Thanks, Marvel. Credits.